Hello and welcome to another episode of the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast. This is episode 93. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Ryan Cross from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and gun enthusiasts. Bandwidth for this episode is brought to you by Patriot Patch. Go on over to patriotpatch.co to pre-order our I'm Your Huckleberry patch after the movie Tombstone or any of the other awesome products that we've got on there now. Check it out, and you'll be supporting a pro-Second Amendment company. And yours truly. Other announcements, guests are welcome, and make sure to, if you're ever going to shop for a holster outside the waistband or inside the waistband, go on over to Bravo Concealment and check out some of their holsters, and if you're going to make a purchase, use the promo code RTT Combo 10 to get 10% off your next order. So that all said, I've got Tony and Chad joining me in the studio today. How's it going, guys?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
It's pretty cool.
The studio that is the cloud.
The cloud studio.
The cloud studio. Did you guys do anything in guns this week?
Oh yeah, I did a lot. Let's see, a couple days ago, Sunday, I took my son and we went and shot a local steel challenge match. He shot 9, I shot a 45, so of course that slows you down a little bit. I figured one of my runs, I don't know if you guys know about steel challenge, but one of my runs I did a sub 3 seconds, so I was happy. That was with a 1911, so I guess I can't complain. That
sounds impressive.
Yeah, it does.
It's hands above shoulders, draw. Yeah, I think that it's 5 shots, so depending on how they arrange it, sometimes it could be 2 plates and a stop plate. Other times it's 5 separate plates. Kind of depends on how they do it.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. You got 5 accurate shots off in less than 3 seconds?
Yes, and a draw.
That's awesome.
I was pretty proud, especially since I was shooting one of those high recoiling 45s.
Oh, how did it even keep your arm in the socket?
Oh yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, the way that you do on each stage, you do 5 runs at it, and then they throw out the slowest one, and then they just add up your time. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, but of course you were cheating because you used a 45 and you hit the first plate and the other ones got shook and went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a 45.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, it stole their soul because 45 stole your soul. Ugh.
Well, I was using one of those awful, like, over 100-year-old designed guns, too.
Oh, those things don't work. Sell it to me for $1. I'll take it. Hey, listen, I'm doing the world a favor, and I'm buying all those old steel guns off of anybody who wants to sell one for $1 because it's a danger to you. You should all buy a Glock. Steel guns are old designs, and they're just dangerous. They're like boat anchors. You shouldn't leave them around. They'll kill your kids.
My kid was shooting one in 1911 with 9mm.
Okay, that's just weird.
I got a glimpse of that video. It looked like he was doing pretty well.
Yeah, actually, he had a few good runs on some of the stages.
I really think it's important to get kids into firearms and get them shooting early because they have that crazy hand-eye coordination that we no longer have, and they can be really good at something and stick with it for a long time.
I think the big plus is they can actually see the sights as opposed to me, who it's all fuzzy.
Well, okay. I wanted to put my Facebook status up from last week at the range when I couldn't see my front sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shooting a 10-22, just iron sights at, 50 yards? I'm like, where did my front sight go? I don't see my front sight. So I just lined it up where I thought the center of the target was and squeezed off 10 rounds and got like an inch group. But I'm like, I didn't see the front sight at all.
Yeah,
it sucked.
If you can see right through the front sight, that's too much front sight focus. You need
You know,
Hey man, I was focused.
we're talking to somebody that's like 20 years younger than us, Tony. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
he doesn't understand yet that, you know, if I shoot an AR-15 carbine length with iron sights, that front sight just is the same way. I cannot see it.
Great.
Is that supposed to be a prideful statement, or are we supposed to pity you? I'm not sure.
No, it's okay. We have they introduced these things called optics years before I was born.
Not really years before you were born, but okay.
So
well, actually, that's a super good segue into the first product that we're going to talk about this week, and it's a mini scout mount that you can put on your Mosin Nagant so that you can actually put an optic on your Mosin. Of course, you're still going to need to go get yourself a bent bolt, but it's actually not that bad priced, and it looks to be pretty good in quality. So it's made by Mega Ranges, and they have it for MSRP for basically $150. Brownells has it for $25 less, so you can get it at Brownells for $125. And it seems to be pretty good. It's aluminum. It's Picatinny rail is the style of rail system on there. So you just kind of give it a forward enhanced eye relief, basically like a scout scope. It's pretty nice. I mean, does it fits scout? So that puts it in. You don't need a bent.
You do need a bent bolt. No.
You do still?
No, you don't.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
No, it goes on in front of where the bolt is. So.
Okay. Yeah, on your rear sight leaf.
Yeah, somewhere along. Yep.
Okay.
Actually, it straddles your rear sight. The total rear sight. It straddles the whole thing, so you leave it in place. You install it by flipping the rear sight up, placing it down, clamping it in place, and you're done. Pretty much, you put the scope on, you zero it, and you're on.
Yeah. You don't have to actually remove your rear sight at all, do you?
Not at all.
No.
Nope.
See, that's advantageous because I've tried one where I actually had to remove it, and it kind of made use of the same pivot holes, and you had to use set screws to kind of. It's almost like a teeter-totter on that hinge point of the rear. So you had to use 2 set screws to kind of get this thing teeter-tottered and then like pressured into place. It was awful. I think I did a review on it. It was from AIM Surplus or AIM Sports, one of the two. But this looks a lot better construction. The fact that you don't have to do that, and I mean, if you want to put like a red dot on your EOTech, I'm sorry, like an EOTech or a red dot on your Mosin Nagant, even though most guys will scoff at how that's kind of like blasphemy to an old workhorse like that, you can technically still do it. I mean, if you wanted to find an old handgun scope, you could do that too. Be a little bit more like authentic, I guess.
Hilux actually have really cool long eye relief scopes that don't cost a bunch of money, because you're talking about a gun that you bought for between $175 and $250 for the most part. But a lot of guys take these Mosins out hunting because it has a hard-hitting, inexpensive round, and again, it's an inexpensive rifle that's really built well. I mean, my best group with my Mosin iron sights was, I think, 2 inches. 2 inches with surplus ammo, so it's an effective hunting round accuracy.
Yeah, it's a poor man's 30-06.
Yeah, pretty much.
It looks like, I'm looking at the installation instructions here. It looks like, you take it apart, and it basically has this clamp that like clamps it around the barrel, and then you kind of put it back together. And then and then it also clamps with like set screws to the barrel along with the clamp that goes around the barrel.
But you will, according to this, you will be maybe removing some wood off your original Mosin stock. Right. So either you can just buy another stock if you don't want to mess up your original, or you can buy one of those. Who is it? Oh yeah, ATI. ATI has like a $99 Mosin stock that you can get, and then on top of it,
wood or synthetic?
It's polymer. Yeah, it's some plastic synthetic stock.
Yeah, I'd go that way.
Yeah, so you can just carve that up.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Get a little Dremel action going on. Oh yeah.
I think Magpul makes a stock for it. You might want to try and look into that, Ryan.
Nice try.
Uh-huh.
That's
Dear Mr. Fitzgerald at Magpul, I heard you had a Mosin stock. I want one. Does it have quick release latches?
I mean, these guys make scout mounts for a number of different rifles. So you got like the Mini 14s. Let's see. Mini 14s.
M1 Garand?
Thank you. Sorry. M1 Garands.
1022s.
1022s. Yeah.
M1 carbines, M1 A1s, or M14s.
Yep. Remington 700. Even if you wanted to put a scout scope on your 700, for some reason, I don't know why you'd want to move it so in front of the action like that, but you could if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Sorry, I got distracted by the M1 carbine mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I was looking at the other one, the M1A mount. I want one really bad.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I think this, if you have an old Mosin Nagant and don't mind changing stocks or something, I guess if you want to reach out far accurately, I guess, put a scope on it.
Well, I mean, if you've got aging eyes, you know, even four times magnification will really help you out at 50 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that because I'm 20 years younger than some of you, so, you know.
Hey, your time will come.
You'll get here. You'll get here, buddy.
Yeah.
Gonna be great. I can't wait.
I'll
Check
have
out the podcast.
cybernetic optic nerves by then.
Probably.
The Obamacare ain't paying for that. Obamacare don't get you new eyes.
That'll be the Trump care plan.
Trump care plan.
Oh. As long as you're not illegal.
Yeah. All right. So if you want to Mosin and all that sounds good, head on over to the show notes and click on the deal alert, the $124.99 Brownells link I got there. That's an affiliate link. It's going to show us that you love us and that you listen, and then you know, give us a little bit of that love, and you'll be able to get your mount a little bit cheaper. So next up, we're going to be talking about some new handguns from SIG. They're releasing their P220s in 10mm, and they've got a couple different varieties. They've got the P220 Match Elite, which is a reverse two-tone. It looks kind of nice. They've got a P220 Stainless Elite, so that's instead of two-tone, it's just stainless. It's got some nice wood grips on there. Then you got the P220 Stainless Elite Nitron, so it's stainless steel, but it's coated in a black nitron finish. But I'm going to be focusing on this one. This is the P220 Hunt Ready. So it's been dipped in Cryptic Highlander camouflage, and it has a slide cut for a micro red dot. So it's got the SIG Electro Optics MRX2 red dot sight already on there. And then, of course, it's got that dead sexy camouflage on there, too. And then it looks like some D10 grips. So apparently Chad's not a fan of the camo pattern, but he does like the fact that it comes with an optic, so he could always have it refinished if it really bothers you that much.
Yeah, I am happy that it does come with the sight, and it does have the regular iron sights are also taller suppressor sights, so you can actually see them through the red dot. It doesn't look like it has an extended barrel that's threaded or anything. So I don't know if that's going to be something, but, you know, like we were talking about before the show, we don't really know all that many places that make a suppressor for 10mm, so...
but here, if you can get a 458 rifle suppressor to fit onto your handgun barrel, you'd be good to go.
Yeah, but you'd still need a booster to get it to sight.
Well, here's this. If you buy this between now and the end of the month, you'll get $200 for SIG to purchase stuff in the SIG store. Just saying.
That'll be like one SIG hat, or half of a SIG t-shirt. Be like a tank top.
You could almost get a SIG arm brace. You can almost get a SIG arm brace for that.
Oh man.
Almost.
But on a different note, all these 10mm ones, they're pretty nice looking handguns, and you know, a lot of companies are starting to bring out the 10mm. You know, it's only been around like 20 years, so I guess it's a
20.
30. Sorry, I'm old.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it does. You do forget decades.
But you know, if you're using something to go hunting with, I guess a lot of people like the 10 for hogs. We don't really have any here in Oregon, so I couldn't tell you. But you know, hey, if you like SIGs and you like 10mm, they have a bunch of them for you to buy.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I was looking for some
I love
snacks. I couldn't find any.
Yeah, so it just looks like 8 rounds. I know they just did an article, or maybe a couple articles ago in Guns and Ammo. They had this hunter, I think, on the cover of it. That's what kind of drew my eye to it. So that would have all sorts of specs. The MSRP for the hunter one is $1,713. The MSRPs for the other ones are all the same, $1,422. So if you're already a SIG owner, that probably shouldn't faze you. For everyone else that does not own SIGs, they're probably thinking, "Oh wow, that's like 3 or 4 Glocks right there."
Well, that's the crazy thing. You can buy the new Glock. What is it? What do they call it? What do they call the new Glock that just came out? 10mm, 6-inch barrel, and ready for a red dot.
It's like the 40 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, 40 MOS.
Yeah. So the 40 MOS is what? Half the price of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the price of that, you can buy the 40 and buy a red dot. But you still only have a Glock, and you don't have like this cool camo pattern, which is another one.
I'll take the black Glock, thank you.
Well, you can always have it dipped. That's a fairly popular film. You can have hydro dipped on there.
Yeah, you can do that.
SIG, man. You know, SIG is it's like smoking cigars. You don't actually like want to inhale. It's all about that status symbol.
Yeah.
You don't actually want to shoot it. You just want to like hold it out there for everyone to see. You know.
Look, it's a SIG. That's okay. You're in good company.
Yep. So I got just a link to the SIG Addict blog forum that had a kind of an article on that. So SIG doesn't actually have them on their website up quite yet. They will soon. Next, we got something really cool coming down the pipe from Rainier Arms. They're coming out with a new charging handle. It's called the Avalanche, and it's a customizable ambidextrous charging handle. So a lot of people are excited about this. Of course, you know, some people stick with their standard, you know, mil-spec charging handles, and some people want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on charging handles because, it depends on how much you're racking that back and if you really want it to look cool. It's like, I don't know, I was looking at some. But anyway, these are actually really awesome because from a customizable standpoint, you can get it in 3 different kinds. It looks like it's just got the kind of the regular like Raptor style of wings on the sides, or you can have knurled like round, almost like knurled thumb knobs, like on a I don't know, my 1022's got those aftermarket knurled knobs on that bolt, and then you can also get more of a hexagonal. It looks like 3 half-inch nuts stacked together. Gives you very big purchase real estate on that charging handle to be able to pull it from either direction, left or right. So apparently there's a lot of people excited for it, and they're willing to spend the price. The retail is going to be between $80 and $100 depending on the configuration you want, which actually isn't bad because there's some charging handles that are over $100. It's like, really? But, I'm trying to find one that's closer to the 50 range that gives me a little bit more function than just the standard. So they're at the final stages of testing various coatings, and they anticipate a launch date. They said between 30 and 60 days, and this was posted on May 21st. So probably definitely by the end of this month or beginning of August, they should have some released. They're also working on a 308 762 variant as well.
Right. I actually really like the looks of this, but I'm kind of with you, and I don't know about the price, but I couldn't find anywhere if it's. I'm guessing it's not a gas buster charging handle style.
No.
By looking at it, which, I mean, maybe they should make that an option. That would be pretty sweet if you're paying that much money, or what's $20 more or something to make it not throw gas in your face.
Well, as somebody that just got my gas buster this week, because Ryan ran over me and didn't let me show you what I did this week in guns, which is put my gun together. It's awesome.
Oh.
I got my gas buster 4 medium, and I'm old school, and I had the regular size charging handle on my M16A2 while I was in the Marine Corps. But the more I'm looking at things like this Rainier Arms with the ambidextrous charging handle, it looks like it's just something else that gets caught on a lot of gear. That's what I'm wondering about these extended charging handles now on both sides of your gear. So depending on what sling you have or what gear you're wearing, when you drop your rifle, is it going to pull your charging handle out, or is it going to pull it down? Especially these guys that want to have 20 pounds of Picatinny rail on their stuff. It's enough to all of a sudden take your firearm out of battery. I just wonder.
The other thing with this, though, is I don't know how far it's threaded or how they attach it. I mean, it's some sort of threaded attachment, I'm sure, but you could make them shorter if as an option, as opposed to having them so long. I was actually thinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking that they should, which they probably will do, is make one that's like twice as long that you can put on there. So like, if you're using it on a precision AR, like the 308 or something, you got this big scope up there. You can cycle it, without the scope getting in your way, which even the way it is now is still going to help.
Oh, yeah, true.
But in that case, you're not trying to lug it around. You're pretty much putting it on a bipod and shooting it. So that thing that's sticking out's not going to bother you too much.
True.
I just want just a loop of paracord in the back. I can just grab with my teeth and go, "Arr!" and then charge it without even having to. I'm just kidding. Hands free.
No, he's not.
Handle.
No, he's not. He's that new guy. He's going to be doing that too. Somebody will do it. Hardcore.
I was going to tell you guys too that when you look at the price that they're looking at, the Raptor charging handles are pretty much the same price, so they're right in there with their competition.
Yeah, I was looking.
I was going to say, I think I saw Mega Arms had one for $60, but they were sold out both Barronells and Midway. So, yeah.
Now BCM has theirs at $69, so they're ambidextrous. They're $69, but yeah, you can't customize it with little brass nuts. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I've got one charging handle that's got kind of an extended paddle or latch on the left side. I think it's a Badger Ordnance latch, and it does really help when you have an optic, that's seated far back enough where it kind of interferes with your hand really grabbing it. But one thing about having a latch on only one side than the other is usually you start to almost bend your charging handle because you're pulling it from one direction, and it'll eventually start to just wear on the inside of the receiver in that one spot. So it's still nice to have a well-built one. Of course, that's what you're getting with these. Is I'm assuming that the metal construction is a lot, stronger than just mil spec.
That would be my guess. And like you said, if you're pulling back with like 2 fingers instead of 1, it's going to pull straight back and not wear on the sides.
Is that a big problem? I'm just wondering about that because, again, my time with it is from when I was in the military, and we didn't have a bunch of charging handles breaking. Of course, we're in the Marine Corps, so we had some of the not only most deadliest, but guys that just break stuff because it's breakable. And I've never saw a charging handle get smashed in half out in the field.
Well, you guys had those A2 carry handle sights with the optics mounted 3 inches off the top of the receiver, right? Or those gooseneck?
No, they didn't.
We had no optics.
No optics?
No, I had no optics.
What is this you're talking about?
Yeah, you guys had optics? No, we didn't. We had a night sight. We had the night sight hooked up, and if you wanted something big, let me see. What could I say? Your old school VCR or VHS recording devices? Yeah, one of those old cameras. Yeah, strap that on top of the A2 handle. That's what our night sights look like. Our Starlight scope look like.
Nice.
And that's how old it is because we still call it Starlight scopes. So no.
So yeah, if you're interested, they don't have it up on Rainier Arms website yet. It's rainierarms.com, but I imagine that they will have it all plastered all over it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
I need to go to Rainier Arms because they're actually in Auburn, and I could be there within an hour. I want to look at their suppressors and see if they've got anything that piques my interest and is worth getting in trouble over.
Well, since they're close now, you might as well go over there and check them out.
I know, right? Yeah. So, yeah, sorry, Tony. I guess I did skip over the what did you do in guns this week. So, but to be honest, I skipped over it for myself also. So, why don't we go ahead and take this moment before we get into reviews and listen to Tony talk about what he did in guns this week.
Oh yeah, cool. I'm glad you could bring that up.
Excuse me, can you guys wake me up when he's done?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's old and he needs a nap. So anyway. Talk about my PSA upper. So I finally put together my PSA dispensator upper with my G-Wax Armory polymer lower. And it is a very, very tight fit without me having to modify.
A dispensator?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I think it's dissipator.
Yeah, that's what I said. So, so my listen, you call your gun what you want. Mine's a dispensator. So I have my decomposition gun, and I'm really happy with it. I'm going to take it to the range tomorrow. Hopefully I can get more ammo because I was only able to secure one box of 223 ammo from the Walmart in PA because you can't buy anything gun-related pretty much in a Walmart in Jersey. I made the mistake of going to Dick's Sporting Goods to look for ammo, and those people charge 50 cents a round for anything they sell as a starting point, up to $1.24 a round for, match ammo. That's not happening. I don't shoot that well. So, yeah, that's what I did in guns. I'm really happy. I can't wait to shoot my gun. And eventually I will do a review on the network. I don't think anyone's done the polymer lower yet, have they?
I don't think so.
So I will be doing one on this G-Wax polymer lower after I put a few 100 rounds in it, maybe even 1,000. I mean, I'll make a difference. I'll shoot it enough to actually know what I'm talking about. But it is a very tight fit. There is no daylight to be seen between the upper and the lower whatsoever.
Nice. Are you going to drag it behind a truck?
Oh, yeah, as soon as I get a truck. Hell no, never happened. If you see my firearms dragged behind a truck, something horrible happened to me and I'm unable to stop it. Just say it. It's probably at a FEMA camp somewhere.
Oh, I figured you were going to say that if your guns are being drugged behind a truck, you're there hanging on to them also, being drugged behind the truck.
No, I'll let that go, sorry. I'll get another one. It was only freaking $400 for the whole gun.
If you see Tony holding onto his gun and it's tied to a bumper, just an unattached bumper, someone had tried that.
Oh, now that's very possible. Yeah, F your truck. I got your bumper with your plate on it.
Right. Yeah, so
but yeah, I'm very happy with this. I can't. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan. Oh yeah, and Ryan said he's going to send me out a spam can of ammo. I'm
No, I
waiting
said
on
I
it.
was going to send you a can of Spam. It's way different.
I'm waiting on it.
Regardless, still want it.
Still want it.
Cool.
All
Yeah,
right, go ahead, man.
that's a nice looking up AR you got there, buddy.
Yeah.
What you got to listen to TJ? He'll talk
Thank you.
all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, he did.
It'll have a.
Yes, he did.
It'll have a. What is that? Some key mod or nope? It won't have a key mod. It'll have a M-lock handguard.
No,
And-
he's got that handguard on there you can exfoliate with if you want him to.
No.
So what'd you do, Ryan?
Yeah, I think I will. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh.
Well, I just carried. I've been reviewing a holster, so I've been kind of, just carrying and evaluating it. Shot some videos for some reviews with the AK-47 Zukov furniture. I think who makes that? I think Magpul makes that. That's right. And then yeah, so that's all I've been really up to. All right, so now we're going to get into the main topic, some reviews, and both Chad and I have a review. So, of course, do you want to, do rock, paper, scissors, or you want to just go first? Or
Oh,
I'll give you the option.
I'll go first in standard, operating procedure.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so today I have this lovely knife to review for you all. I actually got this, I don't know, a while back. It is the CRKT Triumph folder, which they do manufacture this particular model with an assisted opening, which this one is not. This one is the do-it-yourself manual opening. Some assisted opening knives I like. In this particular case, it only has the thumb studs. So if you go with assisted opening, they fling out and they feel weird to me. So I have the standard fling out one. So there's that. I'll show you some more stuff on it in here in a little bit. It looks like that it is designed by knife maker Pat Crawford. So if that means something to you, it didn't really mean anything to me. But I do like the knife, so it's actually retails for, I'm going to kind of skip around here, $149.95 or something. But they have it severely discounted on the CRKT website, and I think you can get it for like $45. Yeah, $44.99, which leads me to think that they are discontinuing the non-assisted opening model. So I'll go through this. The knife starts out with an AUS 8 stainless steel blade, which is in a modified Tanto style, which is this kind of cut, if you don't know anything about knives, but most people know what the Tanto is. It gives good puncturing ability because it's thick here along the spine of it, and so you can stab things and the knife goes in. The blade itself is held out by a locking liner, which is this little flip-out piece like a lot of pocket knives use. But it also offers what they call their auto lock. And what their auto lock is I'll see if I can get it up here, is this little lever right here that my finger was just on. And what it does is, I'll show you here, you'll see it kind of pop out when the knife's extended. And what that does is it actually moves a little piece of metal in front of the liner lock. So if you just push the liner lock down, you can't close the blade. You have to push this lever back, then you can do it one-handed, move the liner lock out of the way, and then you can fold the knife. The knife is actually super smooth. It's actually been in my pocket for quite a while, and you can see I don't even really have to just shake it a little and it'll close. And you can actually flick it and it'll open by itself if you are fancy like that. I actually wasn't sure how I would like the little auto lock feature, but it is really nice in that it leaves the blade locked open. After you use the knife a few times, you can get the hang of moving that, then kind of dropping the knife, and it will close the blade. This particular model comes with G10 handles, which are the super grippy stuff that everybody loves. However, they cut these grooves in here, and I think this is the roughest textured knife I think I have ever picked up. It pretty much feels like you're holding sandpaper, which is really nice if your hands are wet, sweaty, etc., etc. It has your standard spring steel clip, which one of the flaws with the knife is it only comes in that location. So if you want to carry your knife in one of the other positions, you're out of luck. It does, however, keep it in your pants or on your belt or wherever you want to keep it. So that's a good thing. However, these super gritty handles will actually wear on your pants. I have one of my pairs of pants has a nice little wear mark pretty much where the clip is. It just sits there and rubs all day. So, if you don't mind your pants wearing out about, you may not want to actually carry this knife. The knife's pretty large. It's 5 inches closed, 8.5 inches open, which makes the blade 3.5 inches long. The blade is 140 thousandths thick, which is good to keep it good and strong. Let's see. CRKT also offers, like I said, an assisted opening. They offer the same style of knife in a fixed blade, like neck knife. So it doesn't close, but it's pretty much the same grind blade, etc. The Firearm Insider 8 key points. The claim to fame is it's a good tactical folder for everyday carry. Target markets, people looking for a good solid EDC knife. The features and benefits are the auto lock system, the 3.5 inch Tanto blade, the G10 grips. It has a locking liner, and you can get optional, they call them, I think, VEF serrations, so you can get it serrated if you would like. I personally don't care for serrated knives, so I didn't opt for that option. They're the same price, which kind of goes into the other aesthetic options and finishes. You can get the VEF serrated blades. You can get a blade that's not camoed like this one. It'll just be plain black. And you can get the assisted opening. What others are saying, CRKT delivers. And this is a review I found. They gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The Triumph series means business. With its one-side bevel, Tanto point, and the serrations that are more like hooks when hook serrations, this knife is intimidating, aggressive, and very attractive. Crawford Designs made this knife out of quality parts and materials. Each knife is handmade and is all-around balanced, high-quality knife. The grip on this knife is also very unique, feeling more like fine sandpaper. This knife has a pleasing texture, and you won't lose your grip even if you try. Downside of the blade is the effort it takes to sharpen it. With serrations like this, it may be a challenge to sharpen, but I believe that can easily be worked around. Which I have not sharpened it yet because the blade is still pretty much razor sharp as it came. So I'm guessing he is probably right, and it's a pain to sharpen, but that also keeps it staying sharp. Another review on CRKT's website. I have between 12 and 15 CRKT knives, and this being my most recent purchase has given me the chance to really get to use this thing quite a bit. In the past 3 weeks, I've had my Triumph with VEF serrations. I put the thing through absolute hell and have only had to sharpen it once completely and one quick time up. this thing is a beast, and I would highly recommend that you grab one if you happen to be lucky enough to come across one. Like I said before, the MSRP is $149.99, and it's discounted to $44.99. I don't know if they're discount them because they're discontinuing the non-assisted one, would be my guess. You can find the assisted opening ones on Amazon for $99.99. So I could not locate any non-assisted ones except on the CRKT website. So that's pretty much the only place you can get it. So the pros are the G10 handles because they gave excellent grip. The 3.5-inch blade is nice. It stays extremely sharp. It's got a strong blade, and the auto lock feature is pretty cool. Now, of course, the cons kind of go with the pros. The G10 handles can be too coarse for some people. It's a pretty good size. It's 5 inches closed, so if you like smaller knives, it's probably not your take on them. It takes a little bit to get used to the little auto lock feature. Not long, so it is not the lightest knife in this size category. It comes in at 6.3 ounces, and it is not actually made in the U.S. It may be assembled here, but I think it is. When I looked it up, it's made overseas. So I gave it a 7.5 of good.
Very nice.
And I haven't.
Yeah, I'm checking it out.
I haven't thrown it at any pieces of wood or children yet, so that's a good thing.
Have you dragged it behind the truck?
I've pretty much tossed it on the floor. Concrete.
See, you people don't take these reviews seriously unless you're dragging every product behind a vehicle. I can't wait to get my Patriot patch. It's on, baby.
Hey, I got a pair of pliers. You want to see I can try to break it?
Oh man, I love it. That's cool. Yeah, I actually just ordered some knives from Midway, but I'm looking forward to doing some more edged tools reviews. You guys heard of the K-Bar TDI?
I saw something on it.
That's the thing with the crazy grip.
Yeah,
at a 90
kind of
degree
shaped
angle.
like a little miniature boomerang.
Yes.
Yeah, so impulse buy on that, but supposedly a lot of people like it. And then also, did you know that SOG makes a 3-pack of throwing tomahawks for under $50?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went ahead and got those because I'm looking forward to doing some throwing on the camera for y'all. So.
Oh, I better get my camera out and start throwing mine. Oh wait.
Yeah, that's right. We'll have like a competition challenge.
Actually,
whoever can stick all 3, and then I don't know. Challenge. Call out the next person to do it. And then Tony will be throwing spoons in the cardboard, and he'll be like, boom, drop the mic.
Hey, as long as he has one of those spoon holsters, he'll be okay.
That's right.
Actually, I'm taking a tomahawk fighting class next month.
Oh man, I should. Well, these are really small. They're only like 10 3/4 inches long, so they might be a little short for your class.
So they're like about the size of this knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. Yeah, August 11th. Actually, they have my friend Sean, who provides me with all these cool shirts every week.
Mm-hmm.
He Black Bag Resources. He's hosting a clinic at one of the I forgot the name of the company he deals with, but it's a knife and tomahawk class on August 15th. Oh, okay, here it is. United Taekwondo Academy. So it's pretty cool. He took a karambit class there, hooked up with the guy, and now he has this. And I figure a class is a class, good exercise, and it's something unique. I mean, I've never had a tomahawk class, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And part of the class, you get a actual from Cold Steel. Cold Steel makes training tomahawks, So that's actually included in the tuition for the class. So it'll be pretty cool.
Nice. And then you'll review them, right?
What, review the training tomahawk? Sure.
Yeah. Is
Actually,
it rubber?
I got in. Yeah, it's rubber. It's you won't get hurt with it. I have a few cold steel training knives. Back in the day when I first got into airsoft, I noticed a lot of guys had knives because having a knife killed is pretty cool, and plus it goes with your gear. So I started making sheaths for training knives just so you have a way to keep up with it. So I purchased a lot of training knives from Black Bag Resources from Cold Steel, and that's how I got into using that. And now I see they have the tomahawks, and we were thinking about getting one for the game, but I would have to make the sheath so big to carry a tomahawk that it's just nuts. You can tie paracord on it and hook it to your belt. But yeah, tomahawks
unravel the paracord and just start swinging it around your head.
Hey man, guys get nuts in airsoft and paintball. I mean, they have knife kills, tomahawk kills. Sean, he created a paintball Gatling gun, portable Gatling gun, like Jesse Ventura in The Predator. Yeah, so you see a guy walking on the field with a helmet and a Gatling gun shooting out paintballs at about 500 rounds a minute. That was him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So my review this week is actually the Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 3.0 inside the waistband holster. This is a brand new holster. So this is what it looks like. It's actually quite a bit more improved from the 2.0 holster, which we did a review on probably about like last year or so. So actually, I had to go back to my old review and kind of reassess and add some cons on there because, you know, I've been using it on and off and started to notice more issues with it that I didn't notice within the couple weeks I had it before I did a review previously. So I think I gave it somewhere close to an 8, and I had to drop it down to a 6.5. So this is the original, or this is, I should say, the 2.0 Cloak Tuck. So basically the main issues with this, and I think even some more of us over here at the network were having problems with it, on the back you have all this exposed hardware, and if these screws were tightened down too far, the screws would actually protrude past these little barbed like T-nuts on the back. So that would actually cause physical damage to people's skin. I think maybe it was Jake cut himself on it. I can't remember who it was. The other issue is they had these pre-placed cant and ride depth hardware that were in there permanently, and so the unused ones were exposed and just there. So of course you'd have to take out the screw and move your clip down. But for some reason they chose to leave those in there, and that would obviously catch on your pants when you're trying to shove it into your waistband, and also wear the inside of your pants throughout the day. So you'll end up with like maybe some holes in your jeans, depending on how tight the fit was and how much friction there was. So then another thing is I noticed with this Smith & Wesson Shield 9, as it was in this holster, it actually was off-center from the sweat guard. So I had a buddy actually cut off and kind of stretch out these holes so I can slide the shell over a little bit, just so it would be a little bit more centered with the sweat guard. And that's this kind of dorsal fin right here, just above the combat cut. So this was the 2.0 holster, and I've kind of reassessed it and given it a 6.5. The front of it just had this vinyl kind of slick texture, and the logo was just kind of barely painted on there. You can see that it's already worn off. So the 3.0 holster is a vast improvement. And so the improvements include basically flip it over to the back. There is no exposed hardware except for just the single set of adjustment for ride depth and cant on the left and right side. They no longer have pre-placed hardware there, so you would just loosen this and move all the hardware down to your slots. That's the way it should have been to begin with. So that's a big improvement. Also, the no hardware on the back. This is nice, soft neoprene, so it's going to be super soft on your skin. Any kind of sweating or if you spill your diet 7-Up all over you or whatever, this is going to protect your firearm from getting that moisture on it. Flipping it over, it uses the exact same shell as the 2.0, so you can see the shells are virtually identical. In fact, if you own a 2.0 Cloak Tuck Alien Gear holster, you can just order this new improved 3.0 backing for a reduced cost and just upgrade your holster that way. So that's kind of nice. So it's got this new texture on the front. They call this alien skin. It's kind of a reptilian, just scale texture. So that adds a little bit more drag friction to the firearm. So I can stick this Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 9 and upside down I can shake the holster. It ain't going to come out. Whereas in the 2.0 holster, it actually will flop out. So it's really nice that they added that texture on there. Also on the inside is a major change. So the inside of the 2.0 just had like an ABS composite on the inside. And the big advantage and why the 2.0 got such good raving reviews despite the hardware issues is how flexible it was. I mean, you can bend these wing tabs almost 180 degrees. So it was actually a very good holster in that it was lighter than leather, had more comfort on the skin, and then also the flexibility that you had here. So with the 3.0 holster, they've actually replaced that ABS core with a stainless spring steel that's just big enough to act as kind of the backbone to where your gun is in the shell, so the screws mount into that shell or into the spring steel backbone core. But then you still have these very flexible wings, so it doesn't go out all the way to the edge, so you can still bend the wings all the way over. And you can bend them all the way over and bend them back, and it's really not going to cause any damage to your holster. So that's actually a really nice feature that it returns to shape just fine. So kind of all this accumulates into arguably one of the most comfortable inside the waistband holsters I've ever had. I've tried some Galcos, some Comptacs, some other miscellaneous brands, usually for like my Glock 19. But this holster's actually been the most comfortable out of all of them. I've been concealed carrying for about 2 weeks now using this holster. Super comfortable, guys. And so I've got two holsters. This is obviously for a single stack Shield 9. Obviously going to be very comfortable being a single stack, but I'm actually also wearing right now one for my Glock 19, and for it being a double stack with handgun, it's actually really comfortable, and there's hardly any pressure with me sitting down or being up and active. It just feels really good. So I actually gave the 3.0 a much higher rating. I feel like that should have been like the way that this holster was engineered, but that's just the way progress works. You got to start somewhere, and eventually you're just going to keep improving your design. So I'm very happy that they took all the feedback that they got from the 2.0 and they kind of re-implemented everything into the 3.0, and I think it's actually much better. So I'm just going to go through. I've got pictures on my review of the backs comparing the 2.0 to the 3.0 together, and also some just pictures of both the single stack and double stack holster, as well as it tucked. There are a couple of clip options. So these are just the standard clips that it comes with. They're full length. They've got a kind of a hook at the bottom to catch onto the bottom of your belt. It's kind of pre-set up for a, like an inch width belt, maybe like an inch and a quarter. But you can get different clips too. They've got what they call J clips and C clips, and so it's similar, and polymer injected. It goes up and over your waistband underneath your belt, and the J clips just have a little J hook underneath that hangs on to the bottom of your belt. So that way, if you tuck your shirt in, because as the name implies, cloak tuck, this holster, you can tuck your shirt in while you're carrying. Instead of having these very obvious, full-size clips going across your belt twice, which is like a dead giveaway that, oh yeah, that guy's carrying. It actually just goes underneath the belt and then hooks underneath the bottom, so that it's a little bit more discreet. And the C-clips are very similar, but they actually have an additional hook over the top, so it makes the shape of a letter C, and it kind of holds onto the top and bottom of your belt. But if someone was just glancing at you, they wouldn't really see it as much as a full clip, so it kind of adds to the discretion of that. Anyway, so the claim to fame is the Cloak Tuck 3.0 concealed carry holster offers an unmatched level of comfort and concealability within the concealed carry world. And they've got this like whole alien theme to their entire company. Like if you call their customer service, like it sounds like you're calling Area 51. You know, they take their brand and their whole like ET alien theme very seriously. Yeah, it's let's see, the target market's obviously concealed carry. The features and benefits is that you can upgrade your 2.0 holster, like I said. You got the improved retention, the enhanced flexibility, that stainless steel spring band that acts as the core, that alien skin, they call that thermoelastic polymer, that just adds extra texture and grip. And then they covered up those exposed hardware from the previous version, which adds to the comfort and prevents you from getting like body hair and just some very nasty injury if it was rubbing against your skin wrong. One other big benefit is it comes with the ironclad triple guarantee from Alien Gear. So that means that one, you get a 30-day test drive. If you don't like it, within 30 days they'll actually buy it back from you. So I mean, you just get a full refund. Two, you get free shell trades for life. So say you bought this for a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield, you sold that gun and you went back to carrying a Glock 19, or you traded it for a Glock 19. You could actually let them know that, and you can basically send them back your shell for your M&P Shield, and they'll send you for free a shield for the 19. So a shell for the 19, so you can just swap it out, and that's actually pretty cool that they'll do that for life, basically. Then there's a forever warranty, so if anything ever happens or you're not pleased, or something wears out or something's not right, they'll take care of you because they really want your business. Other aesthetic options, there really is none. You can order this holster with numerous different handguns. In fact, they also offer models with some laser combos. They're pretty low profile. They don't have any of like the full-size weapon lights, but like they've got the Viridian Reactor series. That's the laser from Viridian where you draw from the holster and it automatically turns the laser on because there's a little detent that presses the switch as you draw. And they've got Crimson Trace, and they've also got, I think, some laser light products on there too. But their gun library that you can choose from is actually really extensive. I mean, they've got 1911s from 3-inch all the way to 5 inches. They've got railed 1911s. All your Berettas, your Chiappas, Bobergs. They've got one of the most extensive, basically, blue gun libraries that I've ever seen. So if you've got something a little bit more obscure in your collection that not a lot of people make a holster for, let alone an inside the waistband holster, you might be surprised to be able to find it on here. So, I mean, if you've got a Steyr M9A1 or a C9A1 compact, they've got you covered there. If you got like a Walter P99 or PK380, they've got you covered. So if you've got something a little bit something that you can't really find, they've got a Keltec PMR30. I haven't seen many inside the waistband holsters for that 22 Magnum. Yeah, you'll be actually impressed by that. What other people are saying, being that this is a brand new holster, there's actually not a lot of reviews out there that are published yet as I'm reading you this, but I did look up a YouTube video from the Sooch, that's SOOTCH00, or double aught, and he's a YouTube gun reviewer and gear reviewer. He does great videos, and I'm just going to read you like a brief synopsis. So he did a video on alien gear holsters, kind of looking at the first version and the 2.0. So he says, alien gear holsters, is it hype or quality? I've seen the slick marketing and all the ads, but figured it was a cheap design considering the price. So just bullet points from his video. Alien Gear Holsters produces hybrid holster systems using high-quality leather backing or with the ABS polymer core. ABS core. A variety of clips for customizing carry options for unbelievable comfort all day long. Distributes weight across the belt with no issues whatsoever. One of the cool things about the system is you get an accessory pack with clips, hardware, and a wrench. Everything you need to customize and make it your own the way you like. So that's actually something that I've got pictures of in the review, but want to make sure that I show you guys for you watching the YouTube video. So when you get your alien gear holster, it comes in this black bag. It's very like, you know, kind of redacted, classified, you know, goes along with the whole Area 51 theme. So it's resealable, so you can kind of keep your stuff in there and reseal it, so that's really nice. But you get this little parts pack in here. So it comes with obviously a sticker and some literature on, you know, how to use the holster, what they recommend, the 430 carry position, but also it comes with this parts pack that they didn't have in their 2.0 version. So it's basically this plastic tray that's bright lime green. It's got all your different screws for different lengths. So they've got 3/8, 1/2, and 5/8. They've got a little holder here for the Allen head wrench for adjusting your clip heights. And then on the back, they've got these rubber gaskets that are used for the bushings in between all the points. So that's how you adjust your attention and you know, keep things around. Is they've got these bright lime green bushings in between all the screws and the backing. So if you found that it was too much retention or not enough, you could always just tighten those down with the Allen wrench. Really easy to do. And then also on the back, I actually took it off this one, but there's a lime green alien head with a little you know, keychain spot on it. So you can, they basically are giving you a alien keychain, which is, I don't know, kind of interesting. I thought that was funny. So they advise the 430 position, which is going to be probably right above your right rear pocket. I usually carry a little bit forward of that, so just like off to the right side of the pocket or like on the 4 o'clock position. At least that's more comfortable for me, having a double stack Glock 19, so that way it gets the grip to kind of lay most flat against my love handle. So price point for retail, you're looking at $43.88, which is a exceptional price for a inside the waistband holster of this amount of quality. It's actually kind of blows me away, and I'm pretty much, if I'm ever interested in getting another handgun that I may want to concealed carry, I'm automatically going to probably order a alien gear holster for it, because I know they're relatively inexpensive compared to someone else and higher quality than some other of those competitors that, you know, aren't as good quality, and you know, it's going to be way cheaper. But you can also get a 2-pack, so you can choose 2 holsters, and they give you kind of a little bit of a discounted price. So if you were just going into this and you wanted a holster for your one gun and a holster for another gun, you could actually get a reduced price on that. So instead of, let's see, it'd be like 86 or 87 something, you're looking at between $50 to $60 depending on what configuration and clips you want. And you can choose you know, your first holster type and second holster type, and you can choose the cloak side outside the waistband holster as your first or second holster type. You can choose the 3.0, and that's going to, you know, bring it up an extra $10. So if I select I want 2 Cloak Tuck 3.0 holsters, it's going to be $69.88. 2 holsters this comfortable for under $70. It's actually a really good deal. You know, they've got the option for the 2.0 on there, but I would not do it just because, you know, why go for the 2 when they have the 3 and it's that much better, and it's only going to be a $6 difference. I would definitely go with that. And of course, if you really want leather, you can go with the original Cloak Tuck IWB. That's going to be the first iteration, and that'll have a leather backing if you're more of a traditionalist. Yeah, I think that's a really good value for what it is. I know that, kind of reviews on them in the past, or at least the 2.0 was kind of mixed. People said it was really comfortable and they loved it, that it was kind of innovative in the materials it used, and other people said, or other people that were, I don't know, not holster snobs, but they were more like, well, why are there exposed nuts? Why is it this way? Why is it that? Why were some of these why is it kind of unfinished or unrefined? So I really think the 3.0 is much more refined, and I'm glad to see it come to this stage in its evolution. So if you need it right now, availability is going to be on their website, aliengearholsters.com. So I gave this a rating of 9.0 for amazing. Pros, extremely comfortable, yet good support of the handgun. On my waist, it feels really good in all different positions. And I measured in between the clips, so it's about 9 to 9.5 inches between the clips when it's on my belt. So if you feel like that's too wide for you, because I've talked to some people that said that it's just kind of too big of a holster for them, the style of pants they wear, or the amount of things that they have on their belt at any given time, or for whatever reason, whatever their job is, they can't have something that big inside their waistband. So that might be a concern for you. But it carries well in all different positions on the hip. You can carry it a little bit more forward, maybe like the 3 o'clock position, unless you're too skinny and that's just not comfortable for you. The steel spring core really increases retention by stiffening the weapon area. That's one thing about the 2.0 that was kind of almost a safety issue, is it's so flexible that when you insert the gun at the wrong angle, I can obviously show you that this pistol is clear and safe, but when I insert it at the wrong angle, it actually the slide goes out of battery. Well, it's not really the wrong angle, it's more of the fact that instead of guiding the muzzle into the holster, it's kind of acting like almost like an oven mitt and just kind of gripping it and not letting the slide go all the way in. So they don't have that issue now because that backbone is a lot more rigid. So I can insert this in here and I'm not going to have an issue. So that's actually a really good feature as far as safety goes. The thermoelastic skin and hidden T-screws are all vast improvements. I really like the texture, the fact that the logo is now molded right into that skin instead of just lazily painted on. I mean, it's just better for branding. Everyone can figure that out. Made in America, made in USA, molded right on that. The extra parts kit is a nice little easy-to-use kit that it comes with, and keeps, if you want to upgrade to a different shell, you've got all the different length screws to accommodate switching to a double stack or conversely down to a single stack style of gun. The customer service is on point. They're really responsive. The price point beats most of the other competitors out there for inside the waistband holsters, and it's a great entry-level option for new concealed carriers. So the only cons I'm giving it is the position of the slide, or at least on this Smith & Wesson M&P, is still slightly off-center of the sweat guard. So if you're carrying far back enough, your body is going to be pushing kind of on the front of it, and you're going to be okay. But if you carry a little bit more forward than that, you might start to, at least on the 2.0 version, you start to feel a little bit more because it was off-center. So that's why we had to modify the 2.0. So I'm still wondering why it's just a little bit off-center. I know probably accommodating if you had taller rear sights for whatever reason. Wanted to make sure there was enough clearance for those so that the sights wouldn't be bumping into your hip, because that would be obviously a lot more painful because they're a little bit more sharp. And then also the limited options for popular weapon lights like Streamlight, Surefire, Enforce. Those would have been nice to see, because I'd love to carry a light inside the waistband just to have it. But I understand the size constraints that they're dealing with, keeping these shells universal. So that might have been a little bit not able to handle that with this model. So it'd be nice to see that availability in the future, even if you lose some of the swappability. So yeah, give it a 9.0. I think it's really a nice improvement, and I shot some video of it I don't know how many people want to see me lifting up my shirt and drawing from inside the waistband, but that video may or may not go live, and you'll get to kind of see it more in person, or not in person.
Yeah, I have one of their original leather holsters, and it had the same problem that the Cloak Duck 2 had, where those little fastener pieces weren't removable, even though since it was leather, you could pop them out, which is what I
Yeah, I
ended
mean
up doing. Yeah,
they're
those.
barbed. So I mean, if you flip it over, you can see kind of the barbed ends that are folded over in there.
Yeah,
So you would almost cause more damage by trying to pull them out than anything.
yeah. On the leather-backed one, the leather's thicker, and so they don't protrude, and you can just pry them out with a screwdriver or something, and it just leaves teeny little holes, but that's leather, so you have the problems with leather as opposed to the new Cloak Duck 3, where it's all that nice soft material and stainless and everything else
Yeah.
you said.
I did notice that because they hold on, Tony, 1 second. Because they swamped hardware or nut types on the back, it's not barbed, so it's not really like stuck into the material. So there's a chance that if you have it tightened too much, I tried to adjust, actually I think the front clip, and actually the rear nut just was spinning with the screw. So I would actually have to, get some like pliers, like needle nose pliers, and kind of dig it in and hold on to that as I just tightened up or loosened it up enough to where, I could just use finger pressure at that point. But that's the one thing I did notice is that, there's a compromise with everything in engineering, and that's just one thing is that you might have one that's kind of too tight, and you have to do that. Other than that, usually if you just put your finger back there, that's enough friction to prevent this from spinning with the screw.
Right.
So, what were you going to say, Tony?
I guess nothing.
Were you going to say something there, bud? Or did he leave?
No, he's still there.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Yeah, I was wondering because I have, the new pistol that I'm getting, the CZ75, and I was wondering about holsters for that because, classes I'm giving, classes I'm taking, I want to be able to have a holster, and you seem to be pretty taken with this, what is it, the Super Tuck?
It's the Cloak Tuck.
Cloak Tuck. No,
Yeah.
I was looking it up on the site. I was going over everything on the site, and the deal for the 2 holster combo is crazy. I mean, that's the price most companies charge for 1 holster.
Right? Yeah, I know. So,
And you can...
Go ahead.
Yeah, and then I was looking at it, so you can do the outside the waistband and an inside the waistband, and pretty much everybody charges. I mean, every one of them is $69.88 if you do the combo, right?
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is probably the company I'm going with, at least to try it out.
Yeah, I would really recommend it, honestly. I mean, even no matter your body type, I mean, technically or hypothetically, it should fit really well. But being a little bit more like fluffy, it feels really good, and that's a relief because I've got leather holsters. I've got some Galco inside the waistband. I think they're called King Tuck, and they're also tuckable. But the fact that they're leather, your skin sweats, can't breathe. And you get discoloration over time. You got to break it in. That's one thing that you actually don't need to do with this holster. Is there's no break-in period. It's got enough flexibility to just fit you right off the bat. One thing I also forgot to mention is that you've got all sorts of clip options. So those J or C clips, those are $688. If you want those over the standard clips, the black leather loops and tan leather loops, those would be more like belt loops that go over your belt and snap in. Those are going to be $8 a set, and those would be like if you are like more of a professional, you have a black or tan leather belt that you wear to work. You want to be able to tuck this in and have loops that kind of blend into your belt a little bit more. You go with those. or you can get a clip combo. So for additional savings, you can get a J or C clip plus a black or tan leather loop for only $14.88, as opposed to buying both sets of clips, which would set you over. Actually, it'd be the same price, $6.88 plus $8. Yeah, it'd still be $14.88, but you can still get them in a combo. I'm sure it'd save on some tax or something. So yeah, I would challenge you to give them a try, especially if you don't like it. Like if you really like, oh nope, this does not fit my body at all. 30-day guarantee, man. Just they'll send it back. They'll take care of you.
Yeah, I'm looking at it because I use my. I've taken some classes with the concealed carry, even though I live in Jersey and can't. Mm-hmm. I do have, out-of-state concealed carry permits, so I figured might as well take some classes, learn how to carry conceal, how to draw, the stuff you learn in a class. Well, I have a high point. I was planning. Of course, I was always planning on buying smaller pistols. The high point was just a range gun, but the opportunity came up to take the classes. But now I had what am I going to use as a holster in these classes? And Phobos had a holster. So I bought that, and I used it as outside the waistband, and I covered it with a big shirt. And I was able to take the class with it, and it was fine. But now that I have the CZ, it's, damn sure it's not going to be heavier than a high point. But I wanted to actually carry it better. I found that I didn't really like the holster. I don't like anything with a safety on it. So I guess I'll be carrying the CZ in double action mode. But it's stuff you learn when you start taking classes about the gear and about the guns you like and don't like. So I kind of like this idea. So I'll probably be buying an Alien Gear holster after I get the firearm.
Yeah, and they have high points on there too, man, if you want.
Oh, I looked it up just to see if it was there. Just to see.
Yep, got some high point love there.
My friend Sean's busting my chops about the high point. He said, so you say it's a good gun? I said, yes, it's a good gun. Nothing extraordinary, nothing great. He was like, well, let's see when you get this CZ75 how much you shoot the high point.
That's a good point.
Yeah, stop speaking to him. I need yes men as friend, damn it. I'm just saying. I'm tired of friends that argue with me and point out stuff like I say dissipate or wrong. Just seriously. Just go with it.
It's a displacer of bodily fluid or bodily tissue. Displacer.
I didn't laugh at you when you called it moly gear.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah. That's questionable. That was different.
It's okay. Everyone did, man. I love my moly gear. I love moly on enchiladas. It's so good. So moving on to the Tech Gadget or app, I actually found an interesting flashlight that we were talking about a little bit earlier before the show started, and Tony pointed out some important thoughts on it. But this is from Steiner, and it's called the MK7 Shotgun MagTube Battle Light. So what this is a little flashlight that actually replaces your MagTube cap on your shotgun and gives you a light mounted on your magazine tube. So it's available for Remington 870, 1100, and 1187, as well as the Mossberg 500, Beretta 1301, and the Benelli M4 or Nova. It's submersible up to 3 meters, and it weighs 4.1 ounces. It's 350 lumens, so it is a miniature light, but that is pretty good for a smaller light. And it just replaces the factory spring cap just by directly threading it on. So Tony, let's I want to hear what you go ahead and tell everybody what you were talking about earlier.
All right, what I was talking about was this flashlight replaces the end cap at the end of your shotgun. This is my 870 clone I have from ATI, and that's great if it's right here. But some people have 20-round extended magazine tubes, so that means your end cap would be ahead of your barrel, and the actuator button is actually on the side of the flashlight. So to activate the flashlight, you'd end up putting your hand in front of the barrel to activate. And yes, for safety Sallies, this is clear. And the other thing is it does not have the ability to have a momentary switch, or not a momentary switch, but what do you call it when it extends out? A pad. You can't attach a pad to it and just attach it to your pump. You actually have to push the side of the flashlight to actuate it, and I think that's a horrible idea. And plus, it's unnatural, by the way, when your pump is up here and you have to activate your light by taking your hand off the pump and placing it in front of everything to activate the light. If they came up with a remote or a switch for it, it'll be a lot better because it's just geared in front of the barrel and more than likely
The
nothing.
problem with the switch would be is as you pump the shotgun and move that forearm back, you'd need like the cord between the pressure switch and the light would have to be like coiled like a pigtail or like Bluetooth or something so that you didn't like yank it out of the back of the light.
Yeah.
So that's obviously problematic. So it's an interesting concept. Maybe if you had a semi-automatic shotgun, which actually is interestingly enough, the 1100 Remington is semi-automatic, but for pump guns, it may not be as ideal as you'd like. But regardless, you still got to reach your hand out there.
And they only have this for 20 gauges, 12 gauges, not 20 gauges also.
My 20 gauge 1100 is not compatible. How am I supposed to shoot quail in the dark?
Well, you're supposed to buy a 12 gauge and maybe like a Magpul for it.
Yeah, I could do that. I should do that. I'm a terrible fanboy for not thinking of it.
I was gonna say it does have a high-low feature, so if you want to take it and use it for something else, you can take this light off, and it's like 10 lumens on low and 350 on high, and it says that the battery lasts about an hour on high. That's about all I got.
The R123A battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting, but for the price point, I think that unless this is the one thing you feel like your shotgun rig has been missing and you don't want to use any other type of flashlight attachment method, I mean, the MSRP is $219. That's pretty high for such a small little flashlight that has kind of a limited function as far as, I mean, you could take it off and use it like a pocket flashlight, but as far as threading it on the end of your shotgun, also to be aware, I'm reading some of these reviews, and if you've got an older shotgun, like some of the older Mossberg 500s have a larger takedown screw, so it kind of prevents this from tightening down all the way. So I think the size of the adapter, Steiner needs to provide a smaller adapter so that you can still have it usable on some of these older shotguns.
Yeah, I get you, but I don't think they were really intending it for older shotguns anyway. So.
Yeah, but they are considering a remote on-off for in the future, so they do say that in their kind of Q&A.
Right, I saw that. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think my $20 flashlight and some duct tape will do the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where I'm getting at with it. I'm like, for over $200. Actually, I'm looking it up now. I know the prison I work at, they have some old school tactical surefire lights built into the fore ends.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, oh yeah, that's $375. All right, I was just wondering what the price point was for the Mossberg and the 870 for the flashlight already built in. Yeah. 600 lumens, 200 lumens, 3 hours of run time. It's $375. So if you really want to pay for a weapons light, there are other ways to do it.
Heck, you can just get a Picatinny barrel clamp and just clamp it to your shotgun barrel or your extended magazine tube, and then you can just put any flashlight you want on there. Actually, I have a Mossberg 930 with a extended magazine tube, and it uses a Nordic Components clamp that basically clamps the tube and the barrel together, which is good because that helps keep them kind of parallel to each other. But then you can also put a Picatinny rail on either side of that clamp, so it's kind of low profile, and you can that way if you had an extended mag tube that ran parallel to your barrel.
Yeah, with that adaptive tactical forend, that they sent me for review that I'm putting through its paces, I guess. It's got a Picatinny rail on it, so with that, it's a conversion kind of, but you can put a light up there if you want. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to run the thing.
Or, get a drill, get one of those Magpul MOE rail sections, and just drill a hole right into your fore-end pump, and then go ahead and screw in that rail section, and bam, there you go. Like, that's a solution under $10.
Literally, it's a good solution.
Yeah, I've done it. I'm not kidding. I've done it. It works.
It works. I mean, I have an ATI stock on my Winchester, and I replaced it with the ATI pump also, and a fore-end, excuse me. And I'm able to put it comes from Picatinny rail, so it has two Picatinny rail sections on both sides of the actual fore-end. And I have no problem with it, except the ends were sharp, and I cut myself the first day I chambered around. So that got a file. But I mean, it works fine. Strapping the light shouldn't be that expensive. I'm sorry, but they didn't do it right.
Well, I did find out Brownells does have that Steiner light for $185, so basically save you about $30 there. If you want to order it from Brownells, make sure you use the link in the show notes to give us some of that affiliate love, and let us know how it worked for you if you got it and it works out for you. So next, there's no listener feedback, but something else that we're going to be plugging from on now till September is there's the 2015 Bullpup Shoot in Illinois. It's in Mount Carroll. It's on September 19th. So go on over to bullpupshoot.com for more information. I'm sure that a lot of our Illinois-based FRN members are going to be there, as well as some others that have the freedom to fly over there. I'm super jealous that I wish I could go over there because I got lots of Illinois peeps I'd love to go meet. So yeah, make sure you do that. Wrapping up, send questions or comments to podcast@firearmsinsider.tv or myself, cross@firearmsradio.tv. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv/iTunes, and be sure to check out the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. So that's the end of episode 93, and of course I'm going to let Tony have the floor and tell us what he's working on in his gun activism.
All right, gun activism for me is, so far I've been calling every firearms manufacturer, accessory manufacturer, ammunition manufacturer, trying to get gear and swag to give away at the Second Is For Everyone shoot that's going to be held on September 17th at Gun for Hire Range in Woodland Park, New Jersey. It's an event I host every couple of months to get non-traditional gun owners out shooting and get them to actually be politically active. We have the elections coming up in November. We have the presidential elections coming up next year. And people really need to start paying attention to politics and getting involved at this time, because this is primary season for the presidential elections. Don't start complaining in November at the polls about who's running when you select who actually runs in the beginning of the year or earlier in the year. Get politically active. You don't even have to be on my side of the firearms issue, even though it's the correct side to be on. But at least be active and know who's running and know what's happening politically around you. So you can go to my shoot. It's being go on Simon Says Train on Facebook. You can go to my page and you can sign up for the shoot. It's actually posted to the top of my page. And if you want to contact me on Simon Says Train on Instagram, I'm available on there too. I try to post a firearm a day or firearm every couple of days. All right. And thanks a lot, Ryan, for allowing me to pontificate and promote my events on the Firearms Radio Network. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. You're a good sport. You don't mind the rib jabbing every here and there, so I don't mind letting you tell all those listeners all the awesome things you're doing. That we all should be doing something, if not just to be social and go shoot, but actually make a difference in your community by making your voice heard.
Thank you.
Yeah. Chad, any words of wisdom before we leave?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Don't have kids? Nothing like that?
Well, I don't know. They have pluses and minuses, so we won't go into that. I mean, you saw them. One of them's shooting now, or shooting more, I should say. So that's always a good thing.
That's the dream when they're old enough to shoot and old enough to mow the lawn. Oh, it's so awesome.
The only problem is I will tell you, make sure they have a good job because ammo gets really darn expensive.
Oh yeah, because they want to shoot it all up. I remember those days. But if you do a good enough job, the role reverses. So now I'm the one that pays for all the ammo and take my dad shooting, and he doesn't have to spend a cent. He doesn't even buy guns anymore. I'm the one that buys guns, and hey, here, this one's for the collection.
Oh, I'm waiting for that day.
It's coming. You'll get there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Everyone have a good week. Shoot safe. Stay hydrated and cool. And I'll catch you on the next episode.
See you later.